Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another business SMS webinar with Lynn. We do go live every 2 weeks to bring you insights on all things related to business texting. But today we're going to change our focus a little bit and really focus in on the VirtualText application. I'll start with a walkthrough of our texting platform features. Then we'll share some insights on how to leverage those features for your business use case. Then we'll review some commonly asked questions that we've had throughout the week. And of course, at that time, if you do have any questions, feel free to post those in the live chat and we'll get to those at the end. So with that, let's get started on those key features. So the key features that we'll be reviewing today are come standard as part of our VirtualText features. We do have additional features that are geared toward high volume and marketing base, which is called VirtualText Pro, which I will cover in a future webinar. So the features that we'll be covering today are related to contacts, where you can manage all your contacts, including any opt-in and compliance, consent message status, and then of course importing bulk messages and contact. Then there's the number switcher, which gives you the ability to toggle between multiple line of communication. If you're using multiple phone numbers to communicate with your customer through texting, you'll have the ability to share across with all your employees and then toggle between those conversations. Then the conversation page is really where you'll spend majority of your time managing different conversation with your customers, being able to archive messages, being able to delete, as well as differentiating between SMS messages and MMS messages. Then we'll move on to canned response, which are common replies or templates that you can create to send to customers. If you know you have frequently asked questions that that need to respond to a customer to, you can create a canned response and be able to apply that to a message rather than typing it out every time. By creating canned response, you can also leverage keywords as well as away message using those automation reply within canned response. So since we're reviewing those, let's get into the feature portal. So 1 second while I go into the application. Now, with our VirtualText feature, once you've completed the SMS registrations and have gained access to VirtualText when you log in, this is the page that you'll see. In the VirtualText standard package, you'll have a admin portal details on the left-hand side here, where you can manage your conversation, contact, canned response, as well as admin detail. There's really 2 access points. Here display is the web UI, and then you also have the ability to download the application either on your Android or iPhone and manage from there. It is limited to just the texting feature, so if you need to do any admin functionality, you'll need to go into the web UI. So we'll go ahead and start with the contact. From here, you can view all your existing contact. If you are just adding a one-time contact, simply click on the add new contact, fill in their name, phone number, and email address. Once you save the contact, that contact will be displayed on the left menu right here. Now, if you are a type of business that actually needs to import in a large quantity of contact, you can do this through our import feature. If you click on the import, it will give you an option to download a sample CSV file, which include a header for name, phone number, and email, and then any associated compliance detail if you wanted to include those as well. Once you've loaded up the data and are ready to import the information back in, you simply just specify if the CSV file includes a header. If it does, just click on there and then add your file. For this demo, I'm going to go ahead and just add the sample file that I downloaded previously. Once you do that, then you'll want to click on the Review Data and Alert. This will showcase any information that you've added in your CSV file. Obviously, with your list, it will be a longer list of other contacts, so you want to go through and review and make sure that information that you've added in the file is accurately displayed here. If everything looks good, then click on the Finalize Import, which will give you a summary of how many contacts you're importing and any information associated to the file that you just uploaded. If that looks good, click on Finish Import. Once the file has imported, as you can see right here, those contacts are displaying here. Now you have different actions that you can do. You can send them a new message, one-off. We do have the Pro feature, which gives you the ability to send multiple contact message at the same time. But in here, as you can see, you could change the details. So let's say the name is different. You could, of course, change it to a business name, or any of the information you'll be able to edit from this view. And if they chose to opt out using a keyword, you could, of course, choose the opt out or the request to opt out from receiving further messages. You can just click on the checkbox, and that would disregard any future messages that you are planning on sending to that particular contact. From here, you also have the ability to do a number switcher. Number switcher, as you can see in my view, there are multiple numbers that I have associated here. So if you have a type of business that have a specific text line for support, a separate line for sales, you could share those across the employee list and be able to toggle between those conversation. Everything will display separately for each of the line of business, so there's no commingling. And then as those employees that have access to those message view, when they're sending message, it will have a signature of who's sending it from, so you have a clear identifier record of those informations displayed there. Next, you'll want to view the conversation. So in the conversation flow here, if you have additional conversation, you can see all the conversation thread on the left-hand side. If you want to look into one particular message, simply click on the message and the conversation panel will display. The conversations that are in gray, as you can see here, those are messages that you have received. And then if it's highlighted in green, those are the messages that you've sent out. So you can clearly see the timestamp, who sent the message out, and when it was sent in terms of the conversation stack. Here you also have additional capability. You have the ability to add, let's say you want to send a message that include a picture, or if you're a type of business that needs to send invoices or sales quote, you can click on this paperclip here in the conversation view. It will give you the ability to attach a file, and you can associate the file here and then compose any additional message that you want to include to that particular end user. Once you've completed that message, simply click on upload, and the file will be uploaded for you to send automatically and display in this conversation thread. Now, before we get into the canned response, in the conversation flow, this is where you can also have the option to add any canned response that you've already created, which are, of course, the templated message. So let's say I want to include this message. It automatically filled in there, and I simply click on send to show the message. So in the canned response section, I've already gone in and created additional canned response to just for our demo account, but you can specify this for your business. You could set it so that it's a new appointment booking, including a calendar reminder so that the customer can actually book new meetings. To add a new canned response, you simply just click on the add canned response, make up a name for it. Usually it's something that's associated particularly to the business. Let's say it's like an open hour office and you want to share information on when your business is open. You can name it business hours. There you can also have the ability to leverage keywords. Keywords are typically one particular words that you could use to automate an end user. Let's say you have a customers that are used to texting you, but they have some common questions. You could set the keyword for this particular one on your business hours set as hours. So if a customer do text that word, it will automatically pre-filled in your business hours that you specify here. And let's say you're open from 9 to 5. And whatever message you display here, you can even include a file upload and then any merge field, which are custom fields. Let's say, and this is only applicable to saved contact. As you can see here, you can include the first name, last name, or any title that's associated to the contact list that you've uploaded. Once the information is displayed here, it will show up as these. And here's one that I've created previously for open hours. And this is how you would simply set it up. You have message details on how you can also configure this keyword. The other thing that you could use associated to canned response is your availability status. Here it's set up to available, but let's say you're a business that's closed on the weekend, but you do want to customize your responses to customers and make sure that they feel engaged in the conversation. You could set a away message here during the weekend, and you can choose from any of the canned response that you've already created. I'm just going to choose one here. Right. So now, as I set my status to away, anytime a customer reach out that the status is still currently away, they will receive that canned response message right here where it says rescheduling. So this keeps it simple, makes it easy for the customer to recognize that their response will be handled when you're back to open hours. The other portion of this is really all about the admin section. You have the options to manage your account detail from here. You can change your password. And of course, this is the admin view. If you have additional users in your account, you can manage all the user details. You could set the password, change any of the contents associated here. In terms of number sharing, if you need to share the additional number associated in your account, you would go into the individual user, which has a specific number assigned to that user, and click on number sharing, and then add in. It will display any existing user already in your account. So you simply choose the one you'd like to share. And once that's displayed below here, you're all set to go, and you'll be able to see those conversation display right here. So those are just some of the features that we have available for VirtualText. In our follow-up webinar, we will be reviewing pro features, which are associated to more high volume. And so if you're interested in that, please attend our next webinar on July 13th. Now that we've covered those features, if there's any questions that you have associated to whether it's the registration process, the feature that I just reviewed, or any questions related to our business texting, please post them in the chat and I will get to them in a moment. Now I'm going to go ahead and kind of review some of the questions that we received throughout this week regarding the registration. So one of the main questions that we've been receiving is related to registration rejection. So there are really two main rejection points, mostly around opt-in rejections. Carriers tends to reject registrations associated to opt-in that aren't clear. For example, if you're a business that used to collect information on a website, but you don't display your website or don't submit your website detail or some kind of screenshot that show that you collect opt-in, subscriber opt-in, which is also in another webinar if you would like to check that detail out as well. Then they will ask for additional information, or if it's not clear, they'll simply reject it for that reason until you can provide the additional evidence. The other common reason why carrier rejects messages or message associated in the registration process, like in the sample message, is related to how you provided the sample message. If your sample message is something along the line of please provide additional information that's displayed on our website application. So any indication that's related to a website or a form or an additional process that is not noted or isn't easily discoverable in the review process can get rejections within the SMS registration process. The other most commonly rejected reason is really related to how you provided information on your process flow. So a lot of this has to do with compliance and how you are noting the details of how your business handled those use case. Now, we do have informations related to these compliance, and we're happy to schedule some time to review your particular use case on those, since it can vary depending on your individual business needs. But we do urge you that if you have any questions or concerns relating to that, to schedule some time, one-on-one time with us directly. All right. And it looks like there are no additional questions for today. So I hope you all enjoy the overview of our texting platform features. You can, of course, reach us at our toll-free number or account services at VirtualPBX if you do have additional questions later on. We'll be following up with a recording of this webinar today, and then any additional links that are associated to your registration, so details. And feel free to reach out if you have anything else. Thank you for attending. You have a wonderful day.